This is the secret behind why McDonald's is the most profitable brand in the entire world. It started off in a dimly lit diner, the smell of sizzling burgers, grease thick in the air. A man sits in the corner booth, napkin in hand, scribbling furiously. He's watching, studying. The workers glide across the floor like clockwork. Burgers flipped, buns toasted, bags packed, faster than he's ever seen before. This isn't just a restaurant, it's a machine. And the two brothers who built it, they didn't even know what they've done, but he does. Ray Kroc takes a sip of his coffee, a smirk creeping across his lips. He's just seen the blueprint for a billion-dollar empire. And in this moment, he makes a decision that will change the way the entire world eats. But here's the thing, the McDonald brothers, they have no idea that they just let the devil walk through the front door. This isn't just the story of how the McDonald brothers built and lost a billion-dollar company. This is a lesson in power, strategy, and survival. Because building a business isn't just about having a great idea, it's about protecting it, scaling it, and owning the machine that drives it. McDonald's didn't become a billion-dollar empire because of better burgers. It became unstoppable because it solved a problem, built a system, and turned that system into an empire. And if you want to build something that lasts, you need to think like the McDonald brothers, but move like Ray Kroc. Let's talk about Richard and Maurice McDonald, two guys running a tiny burger stand in San Bernardino, California. Nothing crazy, no flashy branding, just a couple of dudes flipping patties. But here's where they changed the game. Back then, diners were slow as hell. You sat down, waited for a server, ordered your food, and prayed it came out before you died of old age. It was an absolute mess. The McDonald brothers saw that and said, nah, we can do this better. So what do? They engineered a system, not a restaurant, a system. A kitchen that ran like a factory line. No waiters, no wasted motion. Every move is optimized for speed. Patty on the grill, bun toasted, burger wrapped, boom, out in the door in 30 seconds. And suddenly, McDonald's wasn't just another burger joint, it was the fastest restaurant on the planet. And let me tell you something, that is the real business lesson here. Most people think a great business is about the product. Nah, it's about the process. The McDonald brothers didn't have the best burgers, they had the best system, and that's why they were winning. But here's where it all went wrong, because they didn't think big enough. They built something incredible, but they saw it just as a little burger stand in California. And then Ray Kroc walks in. Ray Kroc wasn't a chef, he wasn't a restaurant guy, he was a salesman, a dude selling milkshake mixers, going from diner to diner, barely scraping by. But one day, he gets a weird ass order. Some tiny burger joint in California just ordered 8 milkshake machines. Nobody buys that many. Nobody. So Ray Kroc drives out there to see what the hell is going on. And when he gets there, he sees the future. People aren't sitting around waiting for their food. They're in and out in seconds. Their kitchen is a well-oiled machine. Ray Kroc takes one look and realizes something that McDonald's brothers didn't. This isn't a restaurant. This is a gold mine. Now here's where most people get it twisted. They think Ray Kroc stole McDonald's. No, Ray Kroc saw something they didn't. He saw the scale. The McDonald brothers were small thinkers. They were happy with their one little burger stand. Ray Kroc saw an empire. He told them, we need to franchise this. They hesitated, he didn't. So he took it over, bought them out for $2.7 million in 1961. And that's the moment McDonald's stopped being a burger joint and started becoming a global empire. The lesson here, if you want to build a billion-dollar business, don't just sell a product, build the system around it. The McDonald brothers had a great idea, but Ray Kroc had the vision. And if you don't think big enough, someone else is gonna come along and they will. So here's the question, are you building a business or are you building a machine? Because the people who build machines, they own the world. Here's the biggest mind of it all. McDonald's is not a burger company. It never was. See, everyone thinks McDonald's got rich off selling their food. No, that's what the McDonald brothers thought. And that's exactly why they lost. Because Ray Kroc wasn't playing the same game. He wasn't in the burger business, he was in the real estate business. Let me break this down. You ever wonder why McDonald's is everywhere? Not just in the cities, not just on main roads, but off highways, at every major intersection, right next to schools, stadiums, airports? That's no accident. There's the strategy. See, when the McDonald brothers were running things, they had one problem, franchising. They tried it, but it didn't work. Too many people were cutting corners, ruining the brand, so they just shut it all down. But when Ray Kroc took over, he saw the real play. He figured out something that most fast food chains still don't understand. Owning a business is one thing, but owning the land that business sits on, that's where the real power is. So here's what he did. You want to open up a McDonald's? Great, you pay the franchise fee. But guess what? You don't own the building, you don't own the land. Ray Kroc does. You don't just buy a McDonald's, you rent it. And who are the people paying rent to? McDonald's Corporation. That's predictable income. That's insane leverage. That's an unstoppable revenue stream. And this is why McDonald's is untouchable. How this works in real life. All right, let me hit you with some numbers. McDonald's makes over $23 billion a year. Guess how much that comes from real estate? Over 80%. McDonald's owns more than $40 billion worth of property. That means every time you see that golden arch, McDonald's isn't just making money on burgers, they're collecting rent from 38 1,000 different locations worldwide. That's not a restaurant, that's an empire. Why this matters to you? Now let's bring this home. What does this mean for you? Because here's the deal. Most people start a business and they think, what can I sell? Wrong question. What you should be asking is, how do I build a system that just prints money? McDonald's didn't get rich flipping burgers. McDonald's got rich flipping real estate. And that's the difference between people who own a business and people who own an empire. Ray Kroc didn't just franchise restaurants. He franchised locations. So ask yourself, are you working for your business or is your business working for you? Are you selling a product or are you building a system? Because that's what separates the small players from the giants. McDonald's didn't dominate fast food. They dominated real estate. And that's why, to this day, they cannot be stopped. Let's talk about how McDonald's traps your mind. Because at this point, we know they own the land, we know they print money off real estate, we know they've built a system that scales endlessly. But a system is only as strong as the people buying into it. And McDonald's figured out how to make you part of their machine. They don't just sell you food, they sell psychology. Every single thing about McDonald's is designed to get inside of your head. Let me show you how. Step 1. The colors, how they hack your brain. Ever wonder why McDonald's is red and yellow? That's not a branding choice, that's a biological weapon. Red makes your heart beat faster and it triggers urgency, excitement, and energy. Yellow makes you feel happy, warm, optimistic. You put those two together, your brain is now subconsciously primed to want food. Think I'm exaggerating? Look at every major fast food chain. McDonald's, red and yellow. Burger King, red and yellow. KFC, red and yellow. In-N-Out, red and yellow. This isn't a coincidence. This is psychology manipulation at the highest level. The colors aren't just grabbing your attention, they're changing your psychology. That's why when you see those golden arches, your brain already wants a burger before you even know you're hungry. That's the first hook. Now, let's talk about the trap. Step 2, the menu trap. Why you spend more than you planned. McDonald's doesn't just make food, they make decisions for you. The moment you look at their menu, they've already won. Here's how it works. Let's say you walk in just planning to grab a small meal. You see a cheeseburger for $2. Then your eyes move over and boom, there it is. The Big Mac. I love a Big Mac. $6.50. And suddenly the cheeseburger feels small. Basic, not enough, but hold on. There's a quarter pounder for $8.50. Bigger burger, comes with fries, comes with a drink. Now your brain is doing that math. The quarter pounder is only $2 more than the Big Mac. The Big Mac feels overpriced now. So what do? You go for the quarter pounder meal. Congratulations. McDonald's just upsold you without saying a damn word. See, the Big Mac was never about the Big Mac. It was a price anchor. It was there to make everything else seem like a better deal. And this is the most powerful thing of pricing strategies in the world. It's called price relativity. And companies use it everywhere. Ever wonder why Apple sells a $2,000 MacBook? It's to make the $1,500 one look like a steal. Why does Starbucks have a $7 coffee? To make the $5 one look cheap. Why do airlines have first class seats? So economy feels affordable. McDonald's didn't invent the game, but they perfected it. And that's why every time you walk in thinking, I'll just get a burger, you walk out with a whole meal. 3, the real killer. Consistency and trust. Now this is where McDonald's truly dominates. See, humans hate uncertainty. We like predictability, familiarity, and control. And McDonald's weaponized that instinct. You can be in New York, Paris, Tokyo, or even some gas station in the middle of nowhere, and that Big Mac will always taste the same. The fries, identical. The Coke, the same damn formula. You don't have to think, you don't have to guess, you already know what you're getting. And that's what makes McDonald's addictive. Because the truth is, people don't just eat at McDonald's because they love the food, they eat there because they trust it. McDonald's doesn't sell burgers, they sell certainty. And in a world where everything is changing, it's priceless. Now, let's talk about how they keep you coming back. Because McDonald's doesn't just dominate with their food, they own the culture. Step 1, the kids hook. The most genius marketing move in history. McDonald's doesn't just market to customers, they market to kids. And when you hook a kid, you hook their parents. Ronald McDonald, the play places, the Happy Meal toys. None of that is random. It's all designed to create a childhood nostalgia. Because if a kid grows up loving McDonald's, guess what they're gonna take the kids one day? McDonald's isn't just selling food, they're selling generational loyalty. Step 2, celebrity collabs, turning fast food into hype culture. McDonald's understands hype. That's why they collab with the biggest names in music and pop culture. Travis Scott meal, sold out. BTS meal, line around the block. Cardi B and Offset meal, viral. And here's the craziest part. They don't even change the food. They just slap a name on a regular ass burger and boom, millions of dollars in free advertising. It's not marketing, that's influence. Step 3, the $1 billion ad budget. Why they always win? McDonald's spends over $1 billion a year on advertising. That's more than Coca-Cola, Apple, and Nike. Why? Because they understand one thing, attention is everything. You might not think about McDonald's every day, but McDonald's makes sure you never forget that they existed. And that's why they stay on the top. The lesson, McDonald's doesn't just sell food, they sell psychology. They don't just own real estate, they own habits. And if you want to build $1 billion business, don't just sell a product, sell an emotion, sell certainty, sell a system. Because the companies that do, they don't compete, they absolutely dominate. At this point, if you still don't believe me, you might need to check your pulse. Because McDonald's isn't just successful. McDonald's is one of the most dominant, unstoppable business empires in history. Let's talk numbers. McDonald's makes $23 billion a year. Think about it. That's $63 million a day, $2.6 million an hour, $44,000 a minute, and $730 a second. Right now, as you're watching this, McDonald's is making money. And it's not just a couple hundred locations making that. It's 38,000 locations worldwide. To put that in perspective, McDonald's has more locations than Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, and Starbucks combined. They serve 69 million customers every day. That's more than the population of France. That's every single person in the UK eating McDonald's today, and then doing it again tomorrow. And here's the crazy part. They're still growing. Most businesses struggle to expand past one location. McDonald's adds hundreds of locations every year. They do it without slowing down. They don't have to find new customers. Customers find them. They don't have to convince people to buy. People already know what they want. This isn't just a successful business. This is a global machine. And if you're paying attention, there are lessons here that can make you unstoppable. Now, the real question is, how do you take what McDonald's has done and use it to make your own business unstoppable? Because McDonald's isn't just lucky. They're smart. They didn't build a burger shop, they built a system, and that's the key. If you want to build a business that prints money while you sleep, here's what you need to do. Number one, systemize everything. The McDonald brothers didn't create a restaurant, they created a machine, a business that could be replicated every single time. That's why McDonald's can have millions of employees, most of them teenagers, and yet the food is the same everywhere. Because they don't rely on people, they rely on a system. A bulletproof system that runs without constant supervision, delivers the same result every time, and makes hiring and training effortless. McDonald's doesn't need a world-class chef in every location. They just need someone who can follow a system. And that's why they can scale infinitely. Now, ask yourself, if you stepped away from your business right now, would it still run? Can someone step in and replicate your process? Or does everything fall apart the second you leave? If your business relies on you doing everything, you don't have a business, you have a job. And that's why you'll never be able to scale. If you want freedom, growth, and expansion, you need a system, because systems don't make mistakes, people do. Number two, think bigger than the product. The McDonald brothers thought they were just selling burgers. Ray Kroc knew they were selling real estate, branding, and dominance. Most businesses fail because they think too small. They focus on the immediate sell instead of the long-term empire. Let's break this down. A local coffee shop sells coffee. Starbucks sells a global brand. A personal trainer sells workout sessions. Nike sells a lifestyle. A small business owner sells a product. Amazon sells a machine that makes you never shop anywhere else. See the difference? The biggest companies in the world aren't just selling products, they're selling ecosystems. McDonald's doesn't just sell burgers, they sell a system of convenience. They sell brand recognition, they sell real estate, advertising, and consistency. So ask yourself, are you thinking like a business owner, or are you thinking like Ray Kroc? Are you focused on making money today, or are you focused on building something that will outlast you? Think bigger. Number three, consistency creates trust. Why do people keep coming back to McDonald's? Because they trust it. They don't have to think, they don't have to guess. They know that a Big Mac in New York is the same thing as a Big Mac in Japan. They know the fries will always taste the same. It's not luck, it's consistency. And in a business, consistency wins every time. If people know what to expect from you, they will always come back. But if your business is inconsistent, if your quality fluctuates, if your service isn't reliable, if your brand keeps changing direction, you done lost trust. And once you lose trust, you lose all your customers. McDonald's doesn't have the best burgers, but they have the most predictable burger. And that's why they'll always win. Number four, control the perception. McDonald's doesn't sell the best food. And guess what? It doesn't matter. Because McDonald's doesn't try to be fine dining. They don't try to be the healthiest option. They lean 100% into what they do best. Fast, cheap, and convenient. And that's why they dominate. They control their brand. They don't let people define them. They tell you exactly what to expect, and that's how you win. If you're trying to be everything to everyone, you'll be nothing to anyone. Own your space, own your brand, own your perception. And that's how you're gonna dominate a market. At the end of the day, McDonald's isn't just a restaurant. It's a system, a machine, and a global empire. And that's the difference between a struggling business and an empire. It's not luck, it's strategy. So ask yourself, are you selling a product or are you building a system? Are you playing the game or are you owning the board? A masterpiece, a marketing giant, a real estate beast, and a machine that prints money and never stops. Think about it. They don't have the best burgers, They don't have the best service, but they have something far more powerful. A system that runs itself. A brand that owns your attention. A business model that turns every location into a cash machine. And they didn't just get here by accident. They built it. Brick by brick, play by play, and move by move. Every decision they've made, from the colors to the pricing to the advertising to the real estate, is all calculated. And that is what makes McDonald's unstoppable. So here's what you need to understand. The next time you walk into a McDonald's or bite into a Big Mac, you're not just eating a burger, you're witnessing one of the greatest business plays of all time. A blueprint for the success has been copied, studied, and analyzed by billionaires and CEOs across the world. And the question you need to ask yourself is, are you paying attention? Because McDonald's isn't just a company, it's a lesson. And if you're not learning from that, you're missing out on the biggest business playbook ever written. So, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. More banging content coming out soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.